it's too confusing. And I'm like, go kill me, fucking kill me. It's my advertising, go fuck yourself. I just like drinking. Alright. Welcome to Renashment. I said that correctly? Very well done. Alright, so we have an exhibition going on here with a few people from our art collective, and I'm going to offer everybody who views this and everybody who comes here to Renashment a chance to win a painting. So I'm going to read a small play I wrote for the Times of Malta that was considered a little bit too difficult to format. It's anarchistic prose, you could say, but it's about my exhibition currently going on at Kamrat Al-Fu. The competition is going to involve somebody writing the last moment in the play, as you hear, and if you take a photo of yourself and your friends in front of the works at either exhibition and write the final paragraph of said play, you'll be in the running to win a painting that's valued over 1,200 euros. All right? Maltese recipients and international, you will have to come to Malta to pick up the painting now. The narrator clears his throat. There are two friends strolling through a small wooded park. Both stop in their tracks, startled by a swooping sparrow that disappears into the sky above. Passing the olive grove, they venture into a small, grassed field. Verdun speaks. Germination, generation, and again, it's a cycle. Do we ever show enough love or care to this that somehow generates all we consider to be of value? Merill retorts. Do you think that is all there is to it? Just value? Does humanity not, as craftsmen, end the cycle and level with the great creator? Verdun speaks. Well, I'm not sure that this whole confused mass can be of any value. I want to say that if it had any value, it would be of no value. I feel like all that has ever been never truly had any other direction than that from volcanic upheaval to complete regression. Merill cuts him short. Space-time, indeed. With a jolt of his shoulders, Merill shrugs. A quick shrug. Would not be of any other value? Unless we're born from it, right? Taken away simultaneously by the two actors in this story of our great cosmos, right? Chaos and order. Caldi and the boring one. The mother and the father. Merill shrugs again. Shrugs with a Socratic finger pointing up. Why then is our formless monster in such a state as to only be performed through this arrogant use of raw material, or perhaps even the body itself? Verdun. Will we ever go up again to the grandeur of the 90s? Exclaimed question mark. Merill. No, never. That the old Vitruvian men may have understood a duality, it leads me nowhere. Not to my pillow as it should, with ease. What of Noah, our survivor of the deluge? Verdun speaks. The arrogance of the amoeba, I say, the biological Proteus, the fool, whatever it is. just changes shape when you view it, hands us no metaphysical solace. Where is the duality in trickery? Buzz above our friends as we near the township. Merill says, perhaps it's all one big marrow soup. Sighs, deeper than the bottom of abyss. Verdun says, we must move beyond this naturalist view. Is there not space for what is beyond the primordial? Merill, as in time. The two friends navigate across a junction, narrowly avoiding a speeding Ford Falzon. Verdun signals mid-Doppler effect to change alleys. Verdun in shock. Where did that come from? Many footsteps later, a town square is reached. Merill's confused face screams of thirst as the conversation hoarsely continues. Merill says, not for the grandmother, nor our helpful Moses. Verdun, now parched, gesticulates as if to slam a pint of lager. Verdun speaks. Perhaps we need a bicycle to traverse this insatiable love of matter, you know? We could then springboard ourselves from indetermination to determination. Merill, a bicycle? Or two? Or three? Is it not the mother's gaze that is enough? Less is more only to those with a rather grand collection of cosmic debris. Smiles are shared as our heroes reach the end of the town square. Merill points to a side reading, New Life. Verdun. No, I mean more than that, rather us than falling in this Ovidian obsession with matter, in all its carnality. Perhaps we can get ourselves beyond this myopic animal, as we like to call it. Merill cuts abruptly in with a bellow. I do believe a short stop and a small drop right here is our solution. Our friends enter the public house. Verdun speaks. I wish to quench my deep thirst. From behind a counter, a man pops up, wiping his hands with a rag as old as the collectibles, the thousands on display, arranged in a manner as to speak of aeons past and generations come and go. The bartender speaks. I'm afraid we're out of lager. There is only the water of life here. The bartender winks, and a cheeky smile rises like a sunrise on his face. Merill, must you spirit the truth, such as it no longer quenches my thirst? Verdun, the saltiness of my sweat satisfies no more. The bartender speaks. Exactly what thirst are you after to quench? You two do not strike me as travelers. What is it then that you are running from in this heat? Verdun and Merill both look far into the depths of a ceiling fan and draw a deep breath. Shallowly, Verdun speaks. Two doubles for me then, another splash for the mutability of the world. Merill speaks. I'll start with one, please, good sir. Keep the tab running to oblivion. No. The two friends sit down on chairs so small they both dwarf their stature. Verdun manages a gesture, and in this an incapacitating cough ensues, whose convulsions lead only to a harsh, incomprehensible, paroxysmal utterance. Merill, unaffected, stares beyond the walls. Merill. Strikes me as odd to have the capacity, worse even as two beings, to discuss a matter so without order, so without beauty, and so without flame. Verdun, catching his breath. Oh, so it is the flames you're seeking. Merill. The fire of an idea, yes. Not for eternity, not the hedonistic, not for me. Nothing but absurdity is eternal in this Trinculian symphony. I cannot view a blank canvas without putting a mark on it. More and more until she gets the recognition she obviously deserves. A silence somewhere is broken. Merill speaks. I'm feeling that our thoughts are becoming more and more incongruous as inebriation sets in. A distraction in the conversation is heard as an ever-growing ruckus bellows the narrow alleyways and streets. Verdun looks wildly around to find a fixed spot from which his emotional arousal rose. Verdun? What mysterious outbursts, and what are their origins? Merill replies, I haven't the faintest. More bellowing is heard. An objectively circus-like tone is given to the distant ruckus. Merill ponders. Listen, Verdun, would you take a chance on serendipity? Verdun answers, never. I will, however, follow it to the end of time. Merill, well then, remove your meat from the seat and let's fly. The sun is setting into a dark twilight as our heroes venture on towards what will become their most excellent adventure. Like two forlorn heaps, they flap away towards the sound of 1,000 stomping elephants, eager to get a glimpse of the carnivalesque madness their colorful presumptions are feeding them. Merill speaks. It does seem we have arrived at our origins, dearest companion. The two soldiers stand frozen in front of a now very dimly lit street. With an illuminated visage, a door slightly askew allows a sharp fluorescent beam to cut through the dusty, dim air. Verdun burps in unison to Beethoven's Ninth, played seemingly only on plasma itself. Merill speaks. Behave. We know not what lies behind this. Verdun. The unexamined life is not worth living, to which Merill retorts. The over-examined is entropy. As our two feathered concierges slip into the luminescence, a sensation of absorbing joy and absolute divine irreverence consumes their sight, their ears, and their souls. A multi-limbed figure stands flailing its wands, multi-dexterous and in flaming white, flaming black, a monstrous shape-shifting collection of all historical tomfoolery, of matter and non-being. Our creature vibrates only the tiniest amount of information, as if to speak deep into a void. It falters not in explaining wise of all, still vocalizing silently an event horizon that is us. Verdun speaks. What beast are you? And asks, what do you do? The beast turns and speaks. I am the wanderer. I am the preacher. I am the lost boy, the forgotten land. I am you when you're afraid. I am you when you are strong. I am the spirit of existence, of becoming, non-becoming. Verdun asks, say, what are you doing? This here rift that you see, our beast continues. This all-encompassing destructive force, this chasm between new and old. The beast, it breathes 1,000 breaths and speaks with all the brilliance of the sun. I must slew this fissure. I must sew it back together before it's too late, I think. Sweat drips off the uncountable limbs of our beast and immediately vaporizes before even a micro droplet hits the floor. Thick clouds of steam surround this spectacle. The walls shake and the ground turns a thick sea of molten rock. As the heaving breast of our beast begins to bellow another chorus of incomprehensible verbal gymnastics. A million Socratic tentacles point upwards. You see, the work is not quite finished. Merill, it seems finished to me. Verdun, to me also. The beast frowns. Word acrobatics aside, good souls. With a gentle wave of the brush, it begins to vocalize a powerful message. This is the paragraph. Huge paragraph. Huge.